Harvard president denies $500 million deal with Trump amid ongoing legal battle. Hold on to your seats, because the drama between Harvard and the Trump administration just took a surprising turn. Harvard President Alan N. Garber has firmly denied rumors of a $500 million deal with Trump, leaving many wondering what's really going on behind closed doors. But here's where it gets controversial. While Garber insists no such settlement is on the table, the White House has been pushing hard for a massive payout, and some reports suggest Harvard might be more open to negotiations than it's letting on. According to 3 faculty members in the know, Garber has made it clear that Harvard is leaning toward fighting this battle in court rather than cutting a deal. This comes as no surprise, given the university's recent legal victories against the Trump administration's attempts to freeze federal funding and restrict international student enrollment. U.S. District Judge Allison D. Burroughs has already sided with Harvard in preliminary rulings, giving the university good reason to believe it can win in the long run. But here's the kicker. Even if Harvard plans to settle eventually, it might wait until after Burroughs delivers her final verdict, potentially strengthening its negotiating position. And this is the part most people miss. The stakes go far beyond money. While a $500 million settlement would be eye-watering, faculty and students are more concerned about the potential erosion of academic freedom. Imagine ceding control over faculty hiring, student admissions, or even allowing an outside monitor to oversee university operations. These are the red lines Harvard's critics are drawing in the sand, and Garber has vowed not to cross them. But with the Trump administration's track record of demanding such concessions, as seen in deals with Columbia, Brown, and the University of Pennsylvania, can Harvard truly hold its ground? Columbia, for instance, paid over $200 million and agreed to review its regional studies programs. Brown adopted the administration's narrow definitions of gender and handed over sensitive demographic data. And the University of Pennsylvania erased a transgender student's swimming records. These examples raise a troubling question. Is Harvard next? Adding fuel to the fire, Harvard has already made moves that align with Trump's agenda, such as dismantling its diversity offices, cutting ties with a Palestinian university, and centralizing disciplinary powers under Garber. While these steps might appease the White House, they've sparked outrage among faculty, students, and alumni who fear the university is sacrificing its core values. Congressional Democrats have even threatened to investigate Harvard if it strikes a deal, and faculty groups have sent Garber letters outlining their non-negotiable principles. Meanwhile, students and alumni continue to circulate petitions, urging the university to stand firm. But as the pressure mounts, one has to wonder, how long can Harvard resist? Here's the million-dollar question. Is Garber's denial of a $500 million deal a genuine commitment to academic freedom, or a strategic pause until the legal dust settles? And if Harvard does eventually settle, what concessions will it make? Will it follow in the footsteps of its Ivy League peers or chart a different course? Let us know what you think in the comments. This debate is far from over. Harvard versus Trump administration. No imminent deal, university insists. Imagine a scenario where one of the most prestigious universities in the world is embroiled in a high-stakes negotiation with the federal government. That's exactly what's happening with Harvard University and the Trump administration, and it's causing quite a stir. According to recent reports, Harvard is not close to sealing a deal with the White House, despite earlier speculation suggesting otherwise. Last week, there were whispers that Harvard might be willing to spend up to $500 million to resolve its ongoing dispute with the Trump administration. This figure raised eyebrows, especially since it would mean paying more than other Ivy League institutions like Columbia and Brown, which recently settled similar issues with the government. But here's where it gets controversial. Some critics argue that such a large sum could set a dangerous precedent, potentially leading to more demands from the government in the future. However, Harvard President Alan Garber has now reassured faculty leaders that a deal with the Trump administration is not on the immediate horizon. Reports from GBH News and the Harvard Crimson confirm that Garber is maintaining a firm stance, emphasizing that the university is not considering a $500 million payment. He suggested that this figure might have been leaked to the press by White House officials to put pressure on the university. At the heart of this dispute is Harvard's legal battle to restore $2.6 billion in frozen federal research funding. The Trump administration claims that the funds are being withheld due to concerns about anti-Semitism on campus. Adding to the complexity, the State Department is currently reviewing Harvard's eligibility for a program that facilitates visa applications for international students and researchers. And this is the part most people miss. The review could have far-reaching implications for the university's ability to attract top talent from around the world. When the New York Times reported that Harvard officials were open to a settlement, some feared that the university might follow in the footsteps of Columbia and Brown, both of which reached agreements with the Trump administration this summer to regain their federal funding. However, Harvard is taking a different approach. The university is steadfast in its refusal to hand over disciplinary records of foreign students to the government, a move that underscores its commitment to protecting student privacy. Columbia's deal, for instance, involves the appointment of an external monitor to ensure compliance with federal policies on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Harvard officials view this requirement as a non-negotiable red line, emphasizing that they will not compromise on the university's autonomy. This raises a critical question. What is Harvard's stance on maintaining academic freedom and student privacy worth the potential loss of billions in federal funding? A Harvard spokesperson declined to comment further, but disputed the characterization of Garber's remarks when contacted on Monday. As the situation continues to unfold, the broader academic community watches closely, aware that the outcome could have significant ramifications for higher education institutions across the country. Ross Cristantiello, a general assignment news reporter for Boston.com, since 2022, covers local politics, crime, the environment, and more. Sign up for the Today newsletter. Get everything you need to know to start your day, delivered right to your inbox every morning.